Plans for a Black Superman movie just got a fascinating update. James Gunn himself confirms that there is a very high likelihood that DC Studios will follow through with this movie. There is a couple of things to take into consideration though. Firstly, the plans for a Black Superman will not interfere with Superman Legacy, and instead, it will serve as a completely independent project. Right now, WB is in the midst of a massive overhaul. Part of this overhaul includes brand new studios to oversee specific projects. Warner Bros. Owns some of the most significant IPs in the world. While nowhere near the size of Disney, they are still a media conglomerate. Over the last decade and a half, superhero movies have taken over the filming world. Within this space, WB plays an important role. With most DC IPs under their belt, many consider them market leaders. However, over the last decade, Disney dominated the space. The acquisition of Marvel Studios is essential to Disney's dominance, and the decision to keep Marvel Studios independent is equally crucial. WB is following this lesson. In the past, all DC projects were released under WB. This business model is now changing. The appointment of James Gunn means an all-new DC studio. This studio serves as direct competition to Marvel. With this studio comes a bunch of brand new superhero projects. Not only can we expect an all-new DC slate with a brand new Superman Legacy movie set to release on July 2025, we can also expect two separate Supermen. Duplicate superheroes and villains are, of course, nothing new for DC. They have multiple Batmans, multiple Jokers, and now multiple Supermans. The plans for a Black Superman movie are currently underway. This movie has been in the works for the last couple of years. Unfortunately, getting the project off the ground is more complex than one might think. It is important to note that this movie is not just a rumor. It is an active project that WB is busy with. The project was formally announced in 2021. J.J. Abrams will serve as the executive producer, while Nehisi Coates is responsible for the screenplay. This Man of Steel story will center around Clark Kent. This version of Superman will not exist in an alternate universe. There are rumors online about a Black Superman movie project from HBO, and this project will focus on an alternate version of Clark Kent. This version is known as Val-Zod, and Michael B. Jordan is rumored to be linked to the project. The film by J.J. Abrams is not part of the Val-Zod rumor. J.J. Abrams' project is already in early development. The appointment of James Gunn and the announcement of an all-new DC slate threaten this project. The next time we see Superman will be in 2025. This version of the character will be part of the Superman Legacy movie. However, James Gunn is open to a second Clark Kent. In a recent interview, he supported a Black Superman by stating, "Those two things are unrelated." That's an exciting movie. I know that Chantal Nong, the executive on that project, is highly excited about it. So if it comes in and it's excellent, which I haven't read the script, and if the timing is right, that could happen. That's unrelated. It would be an Elseworlds take like Joker. With J.J. Abrams working on a Black Superman, we must consider what this means for Superman Legacy. The most important question will be how these two versions of the same character can exist in the same universe. The first theory is self-evident, involving the Flash and the multiverse. There are two versions of Spider-Man in Marvel, Miles Morales and Peter Parker. However, these are technically two different versions, so following the Marvel route will not apply here. DC does not need to look elsewhere to find a solution. This puzzle is solved with Batman and the Joker, although in different ways. Zack Snyder is the man responsible for the previous DC universe. This character's main version is Ben Affleck. An alternative version of the character also exists. This version of the superhero is Robert Pattinson. The two versions of the character exist, but not in the same universe. Robert Pattinson's Batman gets high praise and is commercially successful. These two versions, however, do not cross paths with each other. We have a similar situation with the Joker. Jay Phoenix portrays this version of the character. The movie exists outside of the main DC story. James Gunn clarified that this is the route they will also follow with a Black Superman. There is no intention to race swap the character within the main story, at least not now. Two versions of Superman will exist in separate universes, and these versions will not interact with each other at all. J.J. Abrams' version of Superman will also never form part of the main Justice League story. The same applies to Robert Pattinson's Batman. We have two versions of Superman in the works. The next obvious question involves casting. We still need to find out who the next Superman will be. Plenty of names are floating around on the internet. James Gunn, for his part, is close to casting an actor for Superman Legacy. His version of the movie is already in pre-production. With his script done, his casting choices are also in the final stages. James Gunn right now is sitting with a small group of actors in mind for the project. On the other hand, J.J. Abrams still needs an actor attached to his project. Right now, there is no indication of who will be cast. This might be because there is still some uncertainty around casting a Black Superman. The movie script might be done, but the movie might never see production. Plenty of films make it this far and have yet to be released. WB right now is sitting with a complete version of Batwoman. The movie, however, will never see the light of day. James Gunn will favor his version of Superman first. Once Superman Legacy is released, we might also see a J.J. Abrams version. People heavily favor Michael B. Jordan for the role of Superman, and he is the front runner across the board to play Clark Kent. Jordan, for his part, did address these rumors in a very recent interview. When asked if he was involved with a Superman movie, he said nothing is currently in the works. He, of course, cannot talk about the project. Even if Jordan works on the project behind the scenes, it will remain private. Michael B. Jordan, of course, is not linked to J.J. Abrams' Clark Kent. He is linked to an alternate version of Superman. This version of Superman is Val Zod. The idea for a black Superman is long-standing. Originally, Will Smith was successfully cast to play Superman in 2006. The part was declined by Smith, however, and the role went to Brandon Routh. This is an exciting time for DC Studios. There are a lot of moving parts. Navigating these changes takes a lot of work. 2025 is close. Superman Legacy will release in July 2025.